here's a really, really silly, kind of simple slide that I put together, and it's really just, my point is that I'm trying to get across is that law firms are businesses, and if you're a smart business, you're going to try to provide quality service, and you're going to want to retain your clients, you want to attract new clients, but at the same time you want to earn more and spend less. I mean, you have to turn a profit, right? The law department is sort of the same. It's just a little different. We only have one client, and that's Rockwell Automation, and we are a cost center. So we don't really earn money here. We spend it. So we have a little slightly different focus, and we try to actually insource as much as we want, right? I mean, we have 21 lawyers here, and so their job is to protect our reputation, model high standards of ethics, balance their role as an independent counselor with their role as a business partner, and then obviously try to keep things as low cost as they can. So we need to make the best decisions when we hire outside counsel to supplement that work that we do in-house. This means finding the best law firm, making sure we can manage that matter in terms of both cost and quality of work, so that we can report an excellent end result and show that we really knew what we were doing when we chose that law firm. So this is a pretty big responsibility that, as you can imagine, would be impossible if we didn't have any legal technology to provide data to help make those decisions. So this, in a nutshell, is really why we implemented eBilling and matter management software, and I'll be able to share with you, I'm excited to share with you some of the things that we've done with that system. So we chose Bridgeway because it was an all-inclusive solution. It has the e-billing, matter management, and business intelligence reporting all wrapped in one. It's a lot easier if you can find that all-inclusive solution rather than having a couple tacked-on programs that may interfere with each other when they have enhancements or product changes. And so we've been really happy with this one-size-fits-all solution. And as I mentioned earlier, we got that green light to implement software, but we didn't get any IT support. So there are some pros and cons to being hosted. We're just dependent on the software vendors, and so far we've been really happy with the level of support. But, that's kind of a risk that you take when you throw, all the responsibility onto someone else. But the plus is that we're not dependent on using our Rockwell network to get to any of these tools. So I'll use the internet browser to use really anything that I've mentioned today. So that offers us a lot more mobility and portability, and we're going to be looking into how can we use these things on smartphones and iPads and whatever else they decide to invent. That'll be for our viewing and working pleasure, I guess. So as of right now, we have almost 10,000 matters in our system. And as I mentioned, we do have a lot of asbestos matters, and so those asbestos matters aren't even counted in that 10,000 or 9,800 because we actually hire national counsel to manage those matters. There would be thousands and thousands and thousands of matters if we captured every claimant in our system. We decided that wasn't necessary, and we're pretty happy with the way it's set up right now. E-billing is mandatory, and there are just a few exceptions. And last year, 90% of the 276 firms we hired submitted e-bills. The only reason I'm not at 100% is that we're not completely integrated with those SAP systems outside the U.S. So if our work is being handled outside the U.S. by our lawyers in our other regional areas, they have to pay them in country. And so we're ready to go. Bridgeway's already ready for their clients to go that route because there are obviously there's country rules for you name it. And so there's a lot of complexity involved, and I actually think the timing is right for kind of expanding out into that international aspect of e-billing. I think if we had tried to do that 5 years ago, it really would have failed because the U.S. was so involved in e-billing, but outside the U.S. it was still sort of a new idea. So I think we're ready for that, but we do pay law firms all over the world. They just get paid out of the U.S., and we can pay in any currency. So we have over 130,000 invoices collected from 500 firms over the years. If you picture all the individual lines and pieces that go into each invoice, you can just imagine how much data we have available. So the eBill's life cycle, basically it's probably no different than what you do with your other law department clients, but the eBill is submitted, it gets passed against some specifically designed invoice rules, and these are rules that I've created that match up against our billing guidelines. They take a lot of that work out of our hands. We don't have to sit there and audit rates and, you know, just some of the other rules that we have in place. So the lawyers or the paralegals approve the invoices, and it goes to SAP. So this is all paperless. We don't really have to involve our accounts payable staff. So at one time we had someone paying 20,000 invoices on behalf of the law department, and today we don't. So our firms have gone through this painful early implementation period, but I do get feedback that they're really happy with the way things are set up because it's very regular. The cycle is very regular. They get paid on a regular basis. There are fewer phone calls, trying to follow up on, was the bill submitted? Did someone approve it? Was it paid? They just don't have to think about it anymore.